just having fun. You know, we didn't care if the people didn't like it. You know, we didn't care. We just cut music, but we knew it was hot. We knew. And
that stuff was real hot. And I think like when Prince kind of came along and kind of started to change some things, he didn't really necessarily use the Fender Rhodes and clavinet.
Right.
He tried to make sure his stuff was different. But
he's an innovator.
Well, Cameo, when I think of group innovators, is the epitome of that. And I think about when you guys shrunk the band down after Wayne Cooper and you guys kind of changed some things around. Man, that Alligator Woman album, man.
Oh, that was a different album.
Whoo, different album.
Yeah, that was.
It was completely different from anything that was on the radio at that time.
Right.
I remember Rick James had that great Throwing Down album out. The Daz Band had the Keep It Live album out. That Alligator Woman album, I was like, man, I listened to like Flirt. Yeah. And even like some of the beautiful ballad stuff like For You that was on that album.
Oh, that was a great ballad.
Oh, man.
Yes, I must say, at that particular time, I didn't record that album because I was on CBS. I had a group, MCB, trombone player, Gerald Bright, who played with us in Cameo, and keyboard player Thomas Campbell. The three of us, we got a deal with CBS. So a couple of albums I didn't do with Cameo because I had my own thing, you know.
That's right. Now was Burnett, I think, was the bass player or whatever?
He was playing bass.
Yeah,
yes.
okay, yeah, because that was Single Life, Attack Me With Your Love and stuff. But
that's right.
Man, I tell you though, Nights at the Sound Table is you though, right?
Oh yeah, Nights at the Sound Table. I just missed 2 albums out of Cameo, and I don't mind playing the stuff that that I didn't record. It's still great music. Well, I just make it mine when I play it.
Yeah, it's clear as yours, man. You know, one of the things I've always wished, man, is I have a lot of music videos on Cameo, and we'll get to some more of them. Boy, I Like It. That bass line you did on I Like It, I was just like, wow. Completely different. That's why I said Cameo's different.
Yeah, yeah.
Cameo's different.
It's a different bass line.
Different kind of thing.
But that's what it's all about, being different. And you know, being an innovator is, you know, who wants to sound like everybody else?
Well, y'all definitely don't. And I'll tell you, to me, the Word Up LP was, I think, the first time that people really on the commercial end, as far as the pop audience and everything else, really gave it up for y'all the way that they should have years and years ago, because y'all have been bad for like 9, 10 albums deep. But that Word Up album, man, I'll tell you, and even tonight when y'all did Candy, you were up there on the stage, but I'm looking from the outside, the crowd just immediately just jumped up.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
a showstopper.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's before y'all got the Word Up, but Candy, man, they lost it.
Candy is the song that says, okay, we're gonna get off right here. We let you hear some music, but now we're going to bring it on. And it works. It's that kind of song. It works every time, and we work it. We work it, and the audience gives us the energy, and it's just a great song to do. It's a great song to play. It's a fun song. You know, it's a song that the people can get involved. And so I'm proud to say that I played that line. Boom, 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 boom.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Soul School. And I have to admit, this is the first interview where I'm kind of, Aaron, you don't know how nervous I am, man, because I'm telling you, you as a cat.
Nervous?
Oh, absolutely, man. You don't know.
Be nervous.
Stare at them album covers, man. I'm sitting up here next to you. You don't know, man. I have all of those albums, man. I still look at them, man, like it's like 1979, 1980, 1987. And then the other thing, I was just sitting up here and I was just tripping and just vibing, man. You guys had an association with Miles Davis, man. And
oh, yeah.
You know, man, what was it like being around that cat, man?
Man, I tell you, to this day, I would say that's the height of my career. Just having the opportunity to, you know, be in his presence. And he was like a god of music. I mean, I believe in gods of music. I do. Oh no, I'm with you. Miles, he was so cool. That's the coolest old man that I had ever met. He was so young. I mean, and I really can't express what it was like. It was, you know, I was saying to myself, I mean, I had hung out with Donna Bird. I had been in the presence of George Bohannon, several other jazz musicians. But there was no one like Miles.
Wow.
Seriously.
Do you remember that Birdland time real well? I mean, I know you probably were younger, but any chance I get, I like to try to find out from another artist's perspective about any of them cats like Bird and any of them dudes, man. What was it like when you were younger? Were those some of the cats that you actually, I mean, I know obviously some of the people that you were influenced by.
Yeah, well, for me, I mean, I grew up in a house. My parents were musicians. My daddy was a radio disc jockey, so we had all the jazz albums in the house.
Okay.
And my dad, I mean, then he played an instrument also. My dad used to play with Lionel Hampton. He played saxophone, and he sang also. My mother played piano in the church. And so I grew up, and all of my cousins played instrument. My brother played guitar. Everybody played an instrument. So we were influenced by jazz musicians, rock and roll musicians, because my daddy had all the records in the world.
Wow.
And that's all he did. He played music all day, and he would say to me, you know, I'd be trying to learn a song, and he said, oh, you think you can play? Can you play this? He put on some jazz. Maybe, may it be Miles, any guy, any
right.
jazz musician, and I couldn't play that stuff. So that was a challenge for me to try to learn how to play jazz. So it's the type of music where, you know, if you can play jazz and seriously play some jazz, you can just about play anything else.
I hear a little bit of everything in you, though, man. In particular, man, I even hear like a lot of stuff like the MC5, Vanilla Fudge. I mean, I hear the rock edge, I hear the jazz, I hear the funk, I hear the R&B, man. And I think for me, as a listener, that's what makes your sound so distinct. And even I know this, but I'm going to have you share this with the audience. This guy was pretty much one of the band directors, probably the main director, I'll let him elaborate on it, for Andre 3000 of Outkast. A lot of that, what you were hearing, was a direct thing for me. You want to elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, most people, they may know it. Well, then a lot of people, you should know it if you know my sound. I recorded Sorry Miss Jackson, So Fresh, So Clean, Prototype. I did maybe 10 or 12 songs with the Outkast. I mean the big hits, and it's kind of one of those sessions. The way it happened, I just come in from Japan. I came to Atlanta, and I was just gonna chill out a day, and then go on to North Carolina, you know, to get me some rest. But at 4 o'clock in the morning, somebody was bamming on my door. I was asleep, and it was this guy we call Shy Boy. He was my roadie, my bass tech. But anyway, Shy Boy also was an engineer for Rico Wade in Atlanta, the Dungeon Family. And so he says, well, look, man, you want to go do a recording session with the Outkast? And I was sleeping. I says, the Outkast, who the heck is the Outkast? So I finally got my senses together. I said, yeah, I'll go do it. So I walks in the studio, and that's Dre. And he's like, oh, here come the legend. I'm like, I'm no legend. I'm just a guy that can play. So what you want me to do? He puts up the track. There's no bass on it. And I said, okay, well, let me put this on you. And I just played to it. I cut it just like that.
Yeah, that stuff is real stanky.
Yeah, it's funky. It's funky, 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 funky.
Yeah.
And then we've become great friends. I've done through him. I've recorded with Gwen Stefani, and I did some tracks with CeeLo. A lot of rappers.
Wow.
A lot of rappers out of Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
How did you come up with that bass line for Word Up? That's you have a lot of stanky things, but that might be the stankiest of all of them, man.
Well, Well, I mean, that's just a simple line. It's been played a million times.
Yeah, it's simple.
I didn't write the song. Larry hummed the line, and
yeah, but see, my attitude is like with James Brown stuff. To me, it's the most simplest stuff in the world, but it's the attitude in which the lines are played.
Yeah.
And you the king of attitude.
You got to have attitude. If you don't have any attitude, I mean, that's like, you know, reading a book, reading it out loud, and not putting any emotion and any emotions into it. So you got to have attitude. You can read music and all of that, but if you don't have attitude to make it come alive, to make somebody feel it, what the guy's singing about, can you make that bass line sing like the guy's singing? Can you tell a story? That's what it's all about. That's what music is about. You know, it's a language.
You know, and was never disappointed, man.
Well, thank you for helping us sell records.
Man, thank you for giving us the funk, man. And
it's my pleasure.
Especially nowadays, man, because I won't go into bands, but certain bands have lost their fastball. It's not my wish to certainly, you know, really compare, because everybody's different and unique, has something different to add to it. But like I say, I specifically want to see the live show, and I make it a point to always check out the live show so I can kind of always figure out who's really bringing it. And Cameo continuously, without actually a lull, have always brought it nasty, stanky, dirty, low down, extra funk with no deodorant funk.